The first 3 months was absolutely brutal. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if I'd ever recover.
Scott McClellan doesn't know if he'll fully recover. But the 49-year-old game designer now has more good days than bad.
Obviously, I still want to get completely out of this. I'd like to come back to normal. And like before this, I was playing ice hockey twice a week and hiking all the time.
Rewind to mid-March, before much was known about COVID.
So I was pretty certain I was going to die. I started getting the shortness of breath and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then when I laid down, my body went into panic mode. And so heart pumping and everything else, and I kind of sat up and was trying to figure out what was happening.
He went to the ER. Doctors didn't test him for COVID-19.
Or they took my vitals, gave me an EKG, make sure I didn't have a heart attack, because I thought I was having a heart attack. I was having like these heart palpitations that I've never experienced before, where it's like fluttering and I got really dizzy. I thought I was going to black out. The problem is like it doesn't show up in regular blood work.
He couldn't smell. He couldn't sleep. Doctors thought it might be anxiety coupled with sinus issues.
After that, I started getting these relapses and I get like these really severe flu-like symptoms. I get really dizzy when I was walking around and kept asking my doctor, like, what's going on? This is like post-viral syndrome of some sort.
For 5 months, Scott relapsed weekly, staying in bed for days. Eventually, he found answers from a doctor at New York's Pulmonary Wellness Foundation that he discovered through a Facebook group, although he's never tested positive. 8 months after first getting sick, Scott's body still feels the impact every couple weeks.
Now I'm having all of these like autonomic dysfunction things where you stand up and the blood pools in your feet and you're dizzy for 10 minutes, then a blurry vision.
You know, when you still have these relapses, is it still scary to you? Like,
some of them are, because you have these peaks and valleys. It's a roller coaster.
He manages symptoms better now. Aspirin for headaches and a medley of supplements.
My message to everybody is take vitamin D.
An anti-inflammatory diet and intermittent fasting are other recommendations. But he says time may be the true healer.
Most of my symptoms are much less than they were even a couple months ago.
Scott writes a blog, which includes a symptom tracker, dedicated to helping others facing the long haul.
What it does to you long term, who knows? But what it does to you short term, and then for a while after, for some people, it's really bad. It's much harder to deal with than wearing a mask and limiting your social circles for a little while.
Scott says he recently sent blood work off to a lab in California, and he's also awaiting on biopsy results from an infection that he believes was made worse by COVID. Researchers are studying long haulers like Scott more and more. A CDC survey found 35% of symptomatic patients are still sick a few weeks later. As more people get COVID, another study found 10% aren't better after a month. No age group is immune, and you can be previously healthy. The looming question, why is this happening?